AITA for selling my friend's ticket after he told me to never talk to him again. So, here I am, needing to vent and figure out if I messed up big time or if I was justified in what I did. I am 32. I'm questioning whether I'm the asshole for selling my friend's ticket to a play we were supposed to go to together after he told me, through a mutual friend, no less, to never talk to him again. I know this sounds like a petty drama, but bear with me because it's been eating at me for months and I just need some outside perspective. Also, sorry in advance. This is going to be long because there's a lot of context to unpack. For some background, this guy, let's call him Jake, am 30, and I have been friends since college. We met during freshman year in a poli-sci class, bonded over late-night study sessions, bad cafeteria food, and a shared love for theater. Jake's the kind of guy who's super charismatic, always the life of the party, but he can also be intense. Like, he's got this habit of taking things personally and blowing up over small stuff, then acting like nothing happened a week later. I'm more laid back, or at least I try to be, but I'm not perfect either. I can get caught up in my head sometimes, overthinking things or avoiding conflict when I probably shouldn't. Anyway, we've had our ups and downs over the years, but we've stayed pretty close. We'd hang out a couple of times a month, grab beers, or go to shows since we both live in the same city. One thing we always did was go to this annual theater festival for my birthday. It's kind of a tradition, something we started back in college because I'm a huge theater nerd, and Jake always said he loved the vibe of live performances. This year, the festival was doing a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which I was hyped about because it's one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. I bought the tickets back in January. 2 seats side by side, great view, not cheap either. Jake sent me his share of the money through Venmo the same day, along with a text like, "Can't wait, man. This is going to be epic." I sent him a digital copy of his ticket right after, just so he had it. Fast forward to about 3 months ago, and things went south. Like really south. Jake and I got into a huge fight, and I'm still kind of reeling from it. It started over something stupid, as these things often do. We were at a bar with a few other friends, and Jake was going on about some new crypto thing he was investing in. I made a passing comment, half joking, half skeptical, about how those schemes always sound too good to be true. I don't know if he was just in a bad mood or what, but he took it personally. Like, he started raising his voice, saying I was undermining him in front of everyone, calling me a know-it-all who's always got to be right. I tried to laugh it off, but he kept going, bringing up random stuff from years ago, like how I ditched him at a party once. I left early because I had work the next day, but okay. It escalated to the point where he was straight up yelling, and our friends had to step in to calm things down. I was embarrassed, honestly, and I didn't know how to respond. I just paid my tab and left. The next day, I texted him to clear the air, something like, "Hey, sorry if I came off wrong last night. Didn't mean to upset you." No response. I waited a couple of days, tried again, nothing. A week later, one of our mutual friends, Sarah, reached out and said Jake was still pissed and told her to tell me he didn't want to talk to me anymore. I was floored. Like, this wasn't just him needing space. This felt like he was done with me. I asked Sarah if he said anything else, and she just said he was really hurt and felt like I didn't respect him. I didn't know what to do with that. I was hurt too, you know? I felt like I'd been blindsided, and now I was the bad guy for making a dumb comment about crypto of all things. So, with my birthday coming up in a few weeks, I was in a weird spot. The play was supposed to be our thing, but now Jake wasn't talking to me, and I honestly didn't want to see him either. The fight left a bad taste in my mouth, and the idea of sitting next to him for 3 hours, pretending everything was fine, made my stomach churn. I kept thinking, is he even going to show up? He told me not to contact him. So how am I supposed to know? I checked with Sarah again, and she said Jake hadn't mentioned the play at all, so I assumed he was bailing. I mean, if you tell someone to never talk to you again, you're not exactly screaming, "I'm still coming to your birthday plans," right? Here's where things get tricky. The tickets were in my name, bought with my credit card, though Jake had paid me back for his. They were numbered seats, so it's not like he could just show up and sit anywhere. I didn't want to eat the cost of his ticket, and I also didn't want an empty seat next to me as a reminder of this whole mess. So, I decided to sell his ticket through the theater's official exchange program. It's a legit system. They handle the resale, and the new buyer gets a fresh ticket with the same seat number. I wired Jake his money back through Venmo the same day, with a note that just said, refund for the play. I figured that was fair. He gets his money, I don't have to deal with an awkward night, and someone else gets to enjoy the show. Win-win, or so I thought. I didn't hear anything from Jake after the Venmo, so I assumed he got the message. Maybe that was naive, but I wasn't about to text him directly when he'd made it clear he didn't want to hear from me. I ended up inviting another friend, Mike, to take Jake's seat. Mike's a good guy, not super into theater, but happy to come along for my birthday. I was looking forward to just enjoying the night and putting the drama behind me. The night of the play rolls around, and I'm at the theater with Mike, feeling pretty good. The venue's buzzing, the set looks amazing, and I'm starting to relax. Then, out of nowhere, I see Jake in the lobby. My heart sank. He's standing there, holding his phone, looking confused and pissed. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to go over and talk, but I was still raw from the fight, and he'd told me not to contact him. Before I could decide, he spots me, storms over, and goes, "What the hell, man? They won't let me in." I'm like, "What? I sold your ticket. I sent you the money back." He just stares at me, fuming, and says, "You sold my ticket?" Without even telling me. I tried to explain that I thought he wasn't coming, that he'd gone no contact, but he wasn't having it. He stormed off, and I didn't see him again that night. Later that evening, my phone starts blowing up. Jake sent me a barrage of texts, calling me selfish, accusing me of stealing his ticket, saying I ruined his night on purpose. He even brought up how he'd been looking forward to the play for months, and how I knew it was important to him. I was like, "Dude, you told me not to talk to you. How was I supposed to know you were still planning to show up?" I didn't respond because I was honestly too overwhelmed, and I just wanted to enjoy the rest of my birthday. The fallout didn't stop there. Our mutual friends, including Sarah, started texting me the next day, saying I was in the wrong for not giving Jake a heads up. Sarah said I should have at least told him I was selling the ticket, even if we weren't talking. Another friend, Tom, said it was shady to sell it behind Jake's back, and that I should have just eaten the cost if I didn't want him there. I get where they're coming from, but I also feel like they're ignoring the context. Jake was the one who cut contact, not me. I wasn't trying to screw him over. I sent him his money back. I even lost a bit of money covering the exchange fee, which no one seems to care about. I've been overthinking this whole thing for months. On one hand, I feel justified. Jake made it clear he didn't want to talk, so I made a call based on that. I didn't want to sit next to someone who'd screamed at me in a bar and then ghosted me. I wanted to enjoy my birthday, not spend it tiptoeing around his feelings. Plus, I didn't keep his money. I refunded him in full. But on the other hand, I can see how he might have been caught off guard. Maybe he didn't see the Venmo, or maybe he assumed the digital ticket I sent him months ago was still valid. I could have reached out through Sarah or something, but honestly, I was still so hurt from the fight that I didn't want to open that door again. I was trying to protect my peace, you know? I keep going back and forth. Was I wrong for not warning him? Should I have just let the ticket go unused, or tried harder to communicate? Or was Jake out of line for showing up without checking in after going no contact? I'm not trying to paint myself as a saint here. I know I could have handled it better, but I also think Jake's reaction was over the top. Who shows up to an event with someone they're not speaking to and expects everything to be fine? I guess what I'm asking is, AITA for selling Jake's ticket and not telling him? I just wanted a drama-free birthday, but now I'm wondering if I accidentally made things worse. Edit. Okay, I've seen some comments about theft and want to clear this up. The tickets were in my name, bought with my card, and stored in my account. Yes, Jake sent me money for his ticket, and we had a verbal agreement he'd use it, but after he went no contact, I figured that was off. I sold it through the theater's official exchange program, which you can only do if you're the ticket owner. I sent Jake his money back the same day, full amount, no profit for me. I even paid the exchange fee out of pocket, so I lost money on this. I'm not some shady ticket scalper. I was just trying to move on from a bad situation. Also, some of you asked why I didn't reach out. Honestly, I was still reeling from the fight. Jake didn't just ask for space. He had Sarah tell me to never contact him again. That felt final to me. Maybe I should have double-checked through her, but at the time, I didn't want to risk another blow-up.